Hi, my name is Ryan Vlahovic. I'm a broadcast major here at WSU at the Murrow College of Communications. I want to be a reporter, and I think that is kind of where my writing is strongest, is in storytelling and in taking a story, writing it down, and making it come to life. I think that's where I'm strongest. I learned kind of throughout this semester that as far as an essay writer, I need to make my point more clear, and I've been working on that throughout the semester with the help of the professor and my peers to really get better at that. The first project I decided to include in my portfolio was the first project we worked on, which was the one I titled "Dude, We Seriously Could Have Died," where my friends and I decided it'd be a really good idea to try and hike Mount St. Helens in the middle of a snowstorm. Fun stuff. So I decided to include this because I think it's a good idea of who I am as a storyteller, as a hopefully an investigative reporter when I'm older, that it's a story I'm telling, and that's just kind of the way I work best. So it would have been a crime, really, to not include this. I thought it was strong in the sense that I'm a storyteller, and that's what I'm best at, but also it also had its weaknesses. I plan to revise this and dive deeper into the mind of one of my friends, David Buss, who was the guy that was refusing to turn around when we were looking for our friend who had gotten lost. So that's kind of the angle there. I think that's the big component on that one, like the big outcome that we were talking about is the critical thinking, because I really need to dive deeper into his mind and explain why my rhetorical argument against him wasn't really working. Because David's a Taurus, he's stubborn, he doesn't like to admit when he was wrong, and I love the guy, but it's true. So that's kind of the thing there, and the outcome I really want to hammer on when I'm revising it. The next one I decided to choose was Project 2, the one where we were talking about Stanley Fish's article. This is interesting. I think I decided to include this because it's one of my strongest writing pieces, certainly stronger than the synthesis essay, because it was one of those papers where I did a really good job of making my point really clear throughout the entirety of the paper. So that's really good. I think that's my strongest point about it. I'm planning on revising it in a sense where I just kind of I guess I should explain the outcome first. The outcome the outcome that I decided to really hammer upon here is conventions, because when reading it you realize how much of a old style and collegiate and intellectual type of writing style and dry writing style that Stanley Fish has. And if I'm going to approve of what he's saying, I really need to do a good job of doing that same writing style myself. And that's kind of what I want to work on. And I did a good job of it, but I want to do it more so. So that's how I plan to revise it. I'll probably include some more paragraphs and stuff like that. The final one we decided to include was Augmented Reality, Project 4. We're talking about how virtual reality is something that we always dreamed about, but now it's here, and it's kind of dangerous. So that's the idea there. I thought it was strong in the sense that it was almost a good article. It's almost something I could publish on a newsletter. I did a good job of revising it at first to make my point more clear throughout, and now it is crystal clear. And if I'm going to still revise it, I'm just going to include more paragraphs explaining about how I believe that this is a really dangerous technology that we need to use with caution. The outcome here that I thought was the strongest was that I guess really tried to hammer on was the composing process, because I had to really format it in a way, and I plan to revise it and almost reformat it in a way to make the point that much more clear throughout the entire paper. So it's almost just set up in a way to make it just crystal. Anyway, so that's that. What I want to continue to work on as a writer, I guess, is still making my point more clear throughout the entire paper. And as if I'm going to be going into journalism, I need to make the point of my story, the story that I'm developing and filming, more clear as well. So, thank you. That's me.